Highwatch Recovery Center is a state-of-the-art treatment center for recovery in a residential setting that supports the healing from the illness of addiction. I'm Dr. Arcuni, and I'm board certified in the new specialty of addiction medicine. And I'm proud to be able to tell you that at Highwatch we have a clinical team and a 12-step recovery team that integrate and function conceptually with hands-on touching. The hands-on touching heal. We operate with program, we operate with activities, we teach the intensely transformational aspects of 12-step recovery that underpin much of the teachings of Alcoholics Anonymous and are widely applicable to most of the self-help groups that have been developed in the United States and elsewhere. I'm also proud to be able to tell you that this is a place where your loved one will be respected, will even be loved in a way that is most beneficial because of the terrible, terrible harm that their spirit as an individual has been damaged by this illness. First and foremost, the illness of addiction is a brain problem, is a brain illness that drives behavior in a way that is harmful, not only to the individual with the illness, but also to the family and friends that care about the individual. That is why at Highwatch Recovery Center, we take care of the family, the individual with the illness, and we approach it from the standpoint of healing in a rehabilitative manner with everything that science and medicine can also bring to bear. We're proud to be here. We're proud to take care of this illness. And we understand the pain and the suffering, not only that the individual is going through, but that the entire system that supports that person needs for them to also be able to heal.
Today is really an important day, I think, for people with substance abuse disorder. Highwatch is a very, very special place. It was a place that was started by the man who started Alcoholics Anonymous. He was really instrumental in bringing this piece of land, this 200 acres, to the alcoholic. And what was so special about this land was the power that was generated when you came here. For some reason, people would describe when they came to Highwatch not feeling the desire to have to take a drink or a drug. They would be removed from the desire to use. Well, that was 1940, and you know, medicine has evolved. And evolved sometimes, I'm not sure in the best way. I still see a lot of prejudice. I still see a lot of derogatory, pejorial type of remarks made about people who have substance use disorder. I see that in my profession of 40 years in medicine. So when I was given stewardship of this facility, what I wanted to do was make it the most beautiful place that I possibly could for people with substance use disorder, in combination with the state of the science that was out there that would put as many lives as you possibly could put into remission. But the building that I was working in was a building that existed for really 4 employees. And it was very difficult. There was no care delivered here 15 years ago in terms of medical care. It was just 12-step oriented care. So this building represents finally this accumulation, this dream of combining the best in medicine as well as the best in 12 steps. It's an interesting phenomena that goes on in medicine in the way that the 12-step people fight with the medical people and the medical people fight with the 12-step people, but in reality, you need both. You need medical people, you need 12-step people to help a human being put their disease into remission and help them keep it into remission. So this building represents really the accumulation of this dream and the best of care for people with substance use disorder. So I'm very excited about today. Kind of feels like a wedding. I don't know how else to describe this.
My role in Highwatch is a supportive one. My goal is to support our CEO, Janina Keene, our staff, in our mission, which is helping the alcoholic or addicted person. And alcohol is one addiction, drugs are another addiction, and there are others. Help people recover from addiction. And what we do here is begin the process of helping people to get on the road to recovery. My own experience with this disease is that 33 years ago, I realized I was an alcoholic. I had been drinking alcoholically for 10 years, not all the time, but enough of the time that it had destroyed my self-esteem. It had destroyed I was very frightened that I would lose my wife, my children, my job, my entire career. And one night, a woman mentioned that she was going to go to an AA meeting 2 days hence, and I had a spiritual awakening. I had to go to that meeting with her. I felt that could be the answer. And I walked into Alcoholics Anonymous on January 23rd, 1979, and have not had a drink since. The way I have found the program works for me is that I needed to understand that I had a spiritual, mental, and physical disorder. And in order to deal with the spiritual, I had to find and develop a relationship with God. It isn't very hard to find God if you really genuinely want to take a look. God never changes where he is. It's just that I, Tony, or any other person trying to find God may change where he or she is. So I gradually found God and gradually turned my desire to drink over to God, and I haven't taken it back since. The physical pretty much took care of itself. I did stop drinking, and I really didn't have a desire to drink as long as I left it in God's hands. The mental was quite another story. I tried AA, understanding the first step well, that I was powerless over alcohol, that my life was unmanageable if I drank. And I tried a modified version of the third step, turning my will to drink over to God. I didn't turn my life and my will over to God entirely at that point, but I did turn my desire to drink over. What I did not understand was that I needed to be at a lot of meetings to get my self-esteem back. I needed to do a lot of work, and it took years. And in the interim, I had a bout which was classified as a clinical depression and required some antidepressants, and it required some psychiatric care. I found that at the end of a relatively brief period with a psychiatrist, I was able to commit myself to Alcoholics Anonymous, get a new sponsor, get myself immersed in the program, and be at 6 or 7 meetings most every week. You remember in AA we have an expression, go to 90 meetings in 90 days. What I've tried to do with my life is go to a meeting pretty much every day, so that every 90 days I am going to pretty close to 90 meetings. And that's after 33 years. I find I need this for that third part of the stool, that third step in the leg in the stool, the mental part of this disease. That I am constantly vulnerable to. I haven't had any bouts with depression. I haven't had any issues with depression for a long, long time. And it's entirely because of this commitment I have to live my life in AA. My greatest regret today is that there isn't a way that I have found to sign up for AA in the afterlife, because I feel I'm living in heaven now, and I've had a wonderful life because of Alcoholics Anonymous, and that followed some really very serious doubts about whether I wanted to live at all.